Hello, my name is Super Lucky, and today I'm going to be showing you my MCC 35 predictions. Now, before we get started, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that these predictions are probably going to be wrong, and these are just my opinion and how I see each team placing. So yeah, don't get mad because I placed one team lower than another team. Just be happy that, I tried. In 10th place, we have the Sapphire Santas, consisting of Critic Zeus, Pixella, Dr. Gluon, and James Turner. Now, the reason why I put this team in last place is simply obvious, as this is a for fun team. I don't think that they're gonna actually try hard. I think they're gonna have fun this MCC. The second reason is that they are not a PvP team, so I don't see them doing well in PvP. Although they do have chemistry, which is a really good thing, because I genuinely think that in games like BattleBox, we're probably going to see more of the Simmers wilting strat for the Wool Rush. And yeah, and last but not least, it's just that they're a weak team in general, because sadly, all of them are kind of very low MCC tier players. But that's not a bad thing, because I genuinely love this team. Simmers, I love them. So yeah, that's basically my reasonings for this team. Now, for the strongest games and the weakest games for the Sapphire Santas, their strongest games would be Grid Runners, because I genuinely think that they can do really well in team games. Their second, I believe, would be Sands of Time, just because I think the Simmers are pretty good at Sands of Time team overall. So for the weak games, I think for the Sapphire Santas, it would be basically all PvP games, because most certainly people would see this team as a free team to kill. And yeah, I think that Meltdown might be another struggle, but who knows, that's just my opinion. Now for the next team in 9th place is the Yellow Yetis, consisting of Purpled, Ryguyrocky, Falsesymmetry, and Eret. Now, the main reason why I put this team in 9th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I genuinely see this team being as a weak PvP team. Even though I do know that Purpled is literally a really good PvPer, I just see that if Purpled goes down in SG or a Sky Battle game, I see that I think his teammates will definitely have a lot of struggle and definitely PvPing. So overall, I just genuinely think that this is kind of a weak PvP team. And the next reason is that I genuinely see this as a weaker team in all the teams so far. Solely because Purple is the only outstanding player in the group. Ryguyrocky is also a top 20 player, but the other two I just genuinely see that they can sometimes get bottom 30, which is just nothing. I just genuinely think that there's just better teams in my opinion. But they do have a lot of chemistry, so I these what was it? They Purpled, Ryguy, and Eret have teamed before, and they did pretty well. They made it to Dodge Bolt, and I'm not gonna be surprised if this team will definitely make dodgeable, because I just don't know. But for now, I'm gonna put this team in 9th. So yeah, and the next benefit of the doubt is that they have a lot of experience, because most of these players have played in MCC for a very long time. So hopefully they should have the experience, and hopefully that will help them in succeeding. But yeah, overall, I'll put this team 9th, but I won't be surprised if this team gets higher than 5th or something. So the strongest games and the weakest games for the Yellow Yetis, I definitely see that TGTOS would be one of their stronger games, just because Purple is really good at it. Same applies for Rocket Sleeve Rush, but I just genuinely think that his teammates can probably do really well in Rocket Sleeve Rush, as I think that's one of their stronger games. So for the weak games for the Yellow Yetis, it's definitely going to be Parkour Tag, because I genuinely see that Purple is the only one who's a really good hunter. Well, with also Ryguy, but I genuinely see if they are being hunted, then I don't see this team as a really good Parkour Tag team. Their next weak game is definitely Hole in the Wall. As might come to shock, Purple is not really good at Hole in the Wall, so if he goes down, then definitely the rest of the team will be having a struggle to definitely carry this, I think, in Hole in the Wall. But yeah, overall, this team I see come in 9th because of these reasons. In 8th place, we have the Mint and Mistletoes, consisting of HBomb94, Krinos, IntheLittleWood, and vGumiho. Now, the reason why I put the Mint Mistletoes in 8th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I see this team as a movement team. I genuinely see all of these players as a really good movement team. like games like Ace Race and Parkour Tag, I'm sure they will do really fine. TGTOS might be another game, because all of them are really like good at those games. Like I don't see a player where they're really bad at movement games. And so the next reason being, I see this team having the H factor. The H factor, you know, being that H-Bomb is just like genuinely a nice person and just a really cool person to team with. So yeah, overall, I just think that teaming with H-Bomb means that you'll do really good and you'll have a great time. But I just genuinely think that there are, like, you know, other better teams out there. And so for the third reason is that they have chemistry. You know, all of them like are friends and they do know each other. So hopefully that should play into their gameplay for this MCC. And so the last reason is that they are an all-around team, meaning that I just don't see any weak player that I genuinely think that they can probably make dodgeable. But for now, I'm just gonna put them in 8th because, you know, I just think there are, you know, better players, and who knows? I always predict that teams are just gonna do really well, and then they end up doing really poorly. So, you know what? I think we'll just take a gamble with this one. So for the strongest games and the weakest games for the Mistletoes, I'm going to say for the strongest games, it's Sands of Time and Rocket Spleef Rush, solely because I just genuinely see these players doing well in those games. I don't think there's a bad player in like Sands of Time or in Rocket Spleef Rush. So for their weak games, it's definitely going to be Sky Battle and Meltdown, solely because that I genuinely don't see this team as much of a PvP team. So they might have PvP team struggles. But I think overall, I don't think it's technically their weak games. I just assume that these games are probably going to be less strong games. In 7th place, we have the Red Reindeers, consisting of Sapnap, CaptainSparklez, RedVelvetCake, and Michealmcchill. I think the reason why I put the Red Reindeers in 7th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I just see this team as a PvP team, not just because Sapnap is a really good PvPer. I just see his teammates also being really good PvPers. I just think that they can definitely show it off in this MCC. And so for the 4th reason is that I just genuinely see that this team has a lot of consistency. I'm saying this because, you know, Sapnap can definitely get top 10. CaptainSparklez is usually a top 15 player. Red Velvet and Michealmcchill can definitely, I think, get like top 25, which is a really good thing. And so for the next thing, I just want to say that this is a very strong team. Just saying that, like, you know, as I said, Sapnap is a really good like PvP player, like just honestly the best. And he always shows that off in MCC, and I don't think that, I think another thing that's not going to be true for this MCC, I genuinely think that Sapnap will pop off. And so for the last reason is that they are an all-around team. As I said before, all these players can do really well in MCC. We just have to see it. So for the strongest games for the Red Reindeers, I'm going to say that Sky Battle and TGTOS will be their strongest games, while their weakest games are going to be Hole in the Wall and Rocket Spleef Rush. I think those are going to be the weakest games solely because I just don't see them being a really strong Rocket Spleef Rush team. And like, I think Hole in the Wall is kind of tricky for me because a lot of people can do really well at Hole in the Wall, but sometimes they won't. So I'm just going to say that Hole in the Wall is going to be one of their weakest games. Next place, we have the Cerulean Candy Canes, consisting of CPK, Shadoon, Orion Sound, and Ant Venom. Now, the reason why I put this team in 6th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I just see this team is a fun team, 100%. I genuinely love this team. I just don't know what to say. I just love this team overall. So the second reason is that leadership. I genuinely believe that CPK and Shadoon will definitely take the leadership role for this team. Not to say that, you know, I think Ant Venom and Orion Sound together can't leader, but I'm just saying that overall I just think that CPK and Shadoon are the better players, and they are going to definitely take leadership. And for my third reason, I believe that knowledge is probably going to help them overall. Solely because, you know, Ant Venom and CPK do have like a really good knowledge of Ace Race, and hopefully they should do well in Ace Race. I genuinely believe that one of their strongest games is Ace Race. And so for the final reason is that this is a really good team overall. I just do not see any player who is very weak in this team. I think that for say that I think they're probably going to get 6. If not, I'm not going to be surprised if they place anything higher. Now, for the strongest games and the weakest games for the Cerulean Candy Canes, I believe that their strong games are going to definitely be Parkour Tag and Ace Race and maybe Sands of Time. And for their weakest games, it's definitely going to be Build Mart and I think survival games. In 5th place, we have the Purple Penguins, consisting of Pizza Hut, Tapo, Sneak Snack, and Cara Corvus. The reason why I put the Purple Penguins in 5th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I just see P as a very good leader, as you know, he is a very good leader overall, and like really good in like games like Grid Runners and like some Battle Box and Sky Battle. But overall, yeah, P is a really good leader that I could see definitely leading this team to victory. And so for my second reason I chose is that comms are going to be really great in this team. You know, I think P and Kara know each other, Tapo and Sneak have teamed before, so hopefully all of them should have like really good chemistry. I don't see why not. So for my third reason is that they have chemistry as well. I think as like it's previously basically the previous reason why these players have teamed before, and hopefully they should know how and each strength and weakness that everyone has. And so for my final reason, I put that this is an all-round team, as again this is like a team that I just don't see like a person like kind of doing really poorly. As you know, Tapel and P are really good players. Sneak is a really like underestimated player that a lot of people underestimate. Kara is another one underestimated player. I genuinely believe that she is a really good player, but just people don't show it. So yeah. So for the strongest games and the weakest games for the Purple Penguins, I believe that their strongest games is going to be Sky Battle and Sands of Time, while their weakest games are probably going to be TGTOS and survival games. In 4th place, we have the Teal Turkeys, consisting of Jojo, Smager, Cubfan, and SolidarityGaming. Now, the reason why I put the Teal Turkeys in 4th place is because of 4 main reasons. The first and literally the main reason is because of the Teal Turkeys curse. As I don't think it's a curse, but it's just like a prophecy that they will make dodgeable. But in this case, I do not see them making a dodgeable. I think this will be the Christmas MCC that prophecy will be broken. And so for my second reason, that being Jojo will definitely take leader in this team 100%, because it's basically just Jojo and just like really cool people. So I think Jojo is here to win it, because I think she is going to continue on the prophecy that the Teal Turkeys will make dodgeable and win MCC. So for my third reason, it's just I think that this has fun vibes altogether, even if they don't make it or not. I just think that this team is really cool, as it's like I think every single person on this team is just really cool. So for my final reason, I want to say that this team will definitely have great comms. Supposedly that they all know each other very well. I would assume so, because the Solidarity Cubfan and Smager all really know each other well, and I think they all know Jojo, so hopefully the comms should be fine. Now, the strongest games and the weakest games for the Teal Turkeys, I'm going to say that their strong games are definitely going to be Parkour Tag and Battle Box, while their weakest games are probably going to be Sky Battle and survival games. In 3rd place, we have the Emerald Elves, consisting of Punz, SmallishBeans, Awesamdude, and GizzyGazza. Now, the reason why I put the Emerald Elves in 3rd place is because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being that I just see this team as a really good team. I think that's to say that I think that every single person on this team can definitely do really well. And GizzyGazza making a return is one that shocked me, but I genuinely see that GizzyGazza will probably do well, considering that he is on a really good team. So with that, I think that GizzyGazza will do well. So for the second reason, I have the Punz and SmallishBeans duo. I really love to see this duo, as it was probably one of my favorite duos when MCC 33 was announced, I'm pretty sure. And I think Punz is just a really good player, and SmallishBeans is just a player that I think everyone's like underestimating kinda, but his recent MCC debuts have been really showing that he is a really strong player, I think, underneath all his little building. And so for the third reason is that I see that this team is a vibe team. I just think that every single person would here is just very chill, calm, and very fun to be with. And so for my last reason being that I see this as an all-round team. I just don't see any weak players on this team. So that being that I just think that they're going to do pretty well in every single game. unless they have something happen to them, then I just see this team getting 3rd place. For the strongest games and the weakest games for the Emerald Elves, for the strongest games, I definitely could see Battle Box and Sky Battle being probably the strongest games, while their weakest games are definitely going to be things like TGTOS and survival games. In 2nd place, we have the Pink Presents, consisting of Kratzy, Hannah Rose, Wally Bear, and Shovel. The reason why I put the Pink Presents in 2nd place because of 4 main reasons. The first reason being I see this team as like the absolute PvP team, as you know, Kratzy, Hannah, and Wally Bear are all really good at PvP. Shovel, I think, is a really good support player in PvP. So honestly, I just genuinely think that they will do really well in PvP games, just like in all of them. And for the second reason, I put leadership. Honestly, I just do not know, like, I think which player will take the lead, if it's like Wally Bear, Hannah, or Kratzy. But who knows? But I mean, it doesn't matter. Any of these players could really be a really good team leader. So yeah, a third reason why is that they are all like really good players. I do not see any like a player like doing really bad. I don't know. I think Shovel. I know Shovel can do pretty well. Wally Bear, Hannah, and Kratzy, they can all get top 15 if possible. So yeah, this is a really strong team. So yeah, the last reason is that this is a really strong team. I don't know how this happened, but who knows? I genuinely see this team being in 2nd place. So for the strongest games and the weakest games for the Pink Presents, their strongest games will definitely be all PvP games, and their second strongest games would be definitely Parkour Tag, as I can see them doing well in Parkour Tag. And for their weakest games, it would definitely have to be somewhere between Grid Runners and Build Mart. In 1st place, we have the Breadman, consisting of FireBreathMan, OwengeJuice, Bekyamon, and GoodTimesWithScar. Now, the reason why I put the Breadman in 1st place because of 4 main reasons. First reason being that I see that this is a strong team, as you know, FireBreathMan is a really good player. OwengeJuice is no exception, getting like top 15 every single MCC. And it's kind of like crazy how Bekyamon is being slept on, as Bekyamon is a really good player and is very heavily underrated. GoodTimesWithScar is a really good support player, which I can definitely see him doing well this MCC. And so for my second reason, being that I see that this team is an all-round team, as that, you know, there are specifically no weak players, and all of these players can definitely do really well in every single game, like Rocket's Belief Rush and Battle Box. And so for my third reason, I chose that communication is going to be a very strong role in this team. And so I say that this because I genuinely think that most of these people know each other, or at least have some idea of who they are. And so yeah, that communication is definitely going to be seen in, I think, during this MCC. And for my final reason, it shows that this team has definitely no weak players at all. As I said, FireBreathMan being really good, OwengeJuice is another, I think, good player. Bekyamon being, I think, underrated, and Scar, I think, doing really good these past few MCCs. I genuinely think that this team will get 1st, and sadly, I think that this team will lose to Dodgeball compared to the Pink Presents, who are just really good at Dodgeball. And yeah, that's the reason I put the Breadman in 1st. Now, for the strongest games of the Breadman, I genuinely see that this team is a really strong TGTOS team, and most likely a Parkour Tag team. Is because I think Bekyamon did really well hunting every single player on her last MCC. For their weak games, I'm going to say that I think Sky Battle and maybe Battle Box will be one of their weaker games. So that's basically all of my MCC predictions. Now, as I said in the intro, I want to say that I think this is my predictions, and no way it is going to be very true. But this is just for fun, and I'm just trying to see how much I think or I have knowledge of the MCC and MCC participants altogether. So yeah, if you like this video, then subscribe, because it really helps me out and it basically motivates me to do more of these. So yeah, good day and goodbye.